Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. When we talk about the flanks, left flank, right flank, I think that's like the bread and butter of all pivoting drill movements while marching. When I teach this, I really focus on the preciseness or precision, paying attention to the order, quality, or accuracy. I really smash it home. So the very first thing I do is when I teach left flank, right flank, believe it or not, look, I know you normally can't do this, but it's a great teaching tool to ensure that everybody has the proper pivot point when they do a flank. So have you ever seen anybody like pivoting and they cross their front foot over and you're like, you're pivoting on the wrong foot going the other way, you're going to hurt your knee. It's hard to do it from a halt. Matter of fact, it's hard to do it when you're doing it from a mark time. So not only do I teach forward march, flight, hold in the very beginning at a mark time, I also do it in the day room at a mark time, and I just practice left flank, right flank. I don't care about the hands. I just care about the feet. So the hands can do whatever they want to do for right now. I want them to make sure that they're pivoting on the proper foot. Number one, wrist management, right? You don't want to pivot on the wrong foot because that would hurt. And number two is for that consistent law of primacy being instituted within the lesson when it comes to doing that step and pivot. So what I do is I'll say, hey, when I say mark time march, and I say that you'll never ever do this outside of this type of practice, so I already make sure that I convey that already. So I'll say mark time, march. I'll make sure everybody is in step first before they pivot, because I don't want that law of primacy. They're doing it like the wrong way on the wrong foot, and then they get really confused. So I make sure that everybody's in step. So I'll call left, 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 right, left, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll say left flank, march, and I'll say step, pivot. Now, of course, I'm going to show it first, and then I'll demonstrate it. Okay, so actually, let me rewind. I'll do the mark time, and then every time I say left flank, march, you're going to say step, pivot. And from a mark time, I'm going to flank. I'll do a left flank or right flank, depending on what I'm teaching. Left flank, march, step, pivot. And I'm doing it. Left flank, march, step, pivot. And they'll see me turn. They'll see me turn all the way around. And I'll show the right flank from a mark time. And then I'll beat up left flank from a mark time over and over and over again. Right flank. And I tell them, hey, make sure when we're going out, don't pick up your knees. Just don't pick up your knees. Just walk forward, step, and pivot. And then I'll show it. So I'll say mark time, march. Make sure everybody's in step. Left, left. And then on step, I'll get in front of them. I'll say left, left, your left, right, left. And then I'll say left flank, march. And they'll say step, pivot, and they'll do it. Left flank, march, step, pivot. Am I calling command? Am I using command voice, really? I just want them to do it. It's just a coaching tool that I use to ensure that both feet are not being used to pivot. Because I don't know if you ever seen them try to do a left flank and pivot on both feet. Going to the left and to the right. And then they'll be out of step. So you don't want that to happen. And you don't want them to pivot on the wrong foot. So you're making sure that they're going to pivot on the correct foot. Now, when I do left flank, I do it at least 50 times. And I critique. I say, you can be more precise, more precise. And I go from the feet to the hands. Now, believe it or not, it's very difficult to see the hands suspend in that momentary moment when they suspend their arm swing on the pivot. What I do is I tell them to kind of hit their sides when they pin it, so I know that they understand to pin their sides. And when everybody does it together, it sounds so good. And you can slap your sides anyway. Just tell them not the helicopter. Don't make it so obvious. Just suspend, release. Another thing that I do is that I actually tell them to keep their hands going. And then when you pivot, suspend your arm swing for like a split millisecond and then keep your arm swing going. So your arm swing shouldn't change. Your arm swing just keeps going. It just scrapes the leg. It just scrapes the leg. So you scrape the leg, you suspend it for that. So that's what I do for left flank and right flank. So you go left flank, left flank, left flank, left flank, left flank, left flank. And then I'll show it. I'll say, hey, I want you to be a little bit more precise. Now, if you ever do any JRTC competitions, there's just one team that was so precise. It looked so good. I want my trainees to do the same thing. So I want them to stick that pivot. I want them to be sharp. And then after they start to understand the left flank, I start worrying about the dress, cover, interval, and distance. So what I'll do is for line and inverted line, they're going to stay in that the whole time. Like, for example, if they're going from column to line, left flank, hard, left, 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 right, left. Get your dress, get your dress. Get your dress right here. Get your dress. Look straight ahead. Look straight ahead. Peripheral vision. There you go. Left, 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 right, left. Get your cover with the individual in front of you. Hey, your interval is like, open it up a little bit. Hey, leading individuals, get your left arm up. Establish that normal interval. There you go. Everybody else, get your cover. Left, 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 right, left. Flight, hold. They're still in line. And then I'll say adjust, because you can't call cover, right? So it lets me, it's just another coaching tool that I use to ensure that they know how to get their dress and their cover, interval and distance. Instead of facing them column or inverted column and giving them cover. I want them to know how to get to it. And then I'll take my time and make sure that they look like a carton of eggs. Making sure they look like ice cube trays. Yes, that is my attention step. Other than that, this was a quick video on what I do for left flank, right flank. It worked so well. And here's your application. Anytime you transit anywhere, when I go up the bridge, the Airman Walkway, it's Boogie Bridge. They're doing left flank, right flank, all the way up that stinking bridge. And after a while, they love it because nobody else is doing it. And it also makes your flight look so good. They can't wait to march with you. Everybody's talking about you because you're applying everything to make them perfect. Make them perfect. Never let them forget how hard they had to work on BMT in your flight. That's why I like being a military training instructor. Heck yeah, I miss it. I miss it because you're evolving people's mindsets. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love it. Anyways, love your faces. Y'all have a good day. There's your flanks for you.